The Guyana national football team, nicknamed the Golden Jaguars, is the national team of Guyana and is controlled by the Guyana Football Federation. It is one of 3 South American nations to be a member of the Caribbean Football Union of CONCACAF alongside Surinam and French Guiana. Until the independence of Guyana in 1966, it competed as British Guiana. They qualified for the Caribbean Nations Cup in 1991, coming fourth, and in 2007. Guyana has never qualified for the CONCACAF Gold Cup or the FIFA World Cup. History British Guiana Guyana played its first international football match on July 21, 1905, a 4-1 defeat against nearby and fellow British colony Trinidad and Tobago. Their next recorded game came almost 16 years later on January 28, 1921, an away 2-1 win against its neighbours Surinam. The two played again in Surinam on August 27, 1923, and on that occasion the hosts won 2-1. British Guiana did not play another match until 1937, when they lost 2 matches against Trinidad and Tobago in Surinam, 3-0 and 3-2. After 7 years without a match, British Guiana entered a 3-team tournament in Trinidad and Tobago against its national side and Barbados. They won twice against Barbados before drawing 1-1 and losing 3-0 to Trinidad and Tobago. In the final of this triangular tournament they again lost 3-0 to Trinidad and Tobago. In November 1947 British Guiana played in a standard life tournament in Trinidad and Tobago. They beat the hosts 2-1 in their opening game on November 5 before beating Jamaica 2-0 the very next day. On November 10 they drew 0-0 with Jamaica before losing 2-0 to Trinidad and Tobago in the last game on November 14. British Guiana played its first home games in 1950 against Trinidad and Tobago. These were British Guiana's first matches since the Standard Life tournament. British Guiana lost 1-0 and 4-1 before winning 1-0. The last match played under the name British Guiana was the next match on March 2, 1959, a 2-2 draw against Trinidad and Tobago. Guyana After independence in 1966, Guyana did not play a match for 5 years. Their first fixtures under their new name were qualifiers for the 1971 Concacaf Championship against Surinam. The first match, away, was lost 4-1 and the home match on September 21, 1971 was lost 3-2 as Surinam advanced 7-3 on aggregate. In 1976 Guyana entered its first ever World Cup qualification campaign with the aim of reaching the 1978 FIFA World Cup in Argentina. Guyana and Surinam were drawn in a 2-legged preliminary in the Caribbean section of CONCACAF qualification and Guyana won the first leg 2-0 at home on July 4, 1976. The second leg in Paramaribo was lost 3-0 which allowed Surinam to advance. 2006 Guyana had a remarkable calendar year 2006, with 11 successive wins, including 5 CONCACAF Gold Cup qualifiers. These results boosted Guyana's spot in the FIFA World Rankings by 87 spots in little over a year. As a consequence, the team rose to the top 12 in CONCACAF and were in the 3rd rank of seeds in the World Cup qualifying draw. Caribbean Nations Cup 2007 At the 2006 Euro 07 Caribbean Nations Cup, Guyana finished top of Group A in Stage 1, then top of Group H in Stage 2, and finished 3rd in the Bobby Sucram group, missing out on a semi-final berth on goal difference alone. Had Guyana reached the semi-finals, they would have qualified for the 2007 CONCACAF Gold Cup. 2014 World Cup qualifying In 2011 the second round of CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers saw Guyana grouped alongside a strong Barbados side, Bermuda, and Trinidad and Tobago, the undisputed favourites of the group containing talented players such as Kenan Jones in the lineup. Yet Guyana managed to top the group and qualify for the CONCACAF semi-finals of World Cup qualifying for the first time in their history. This saw them drawn with Mexico, Costa Rica and El Salvador, and their first group game was against Mexico at the famous Azteca Arena, where Guyana lost 3-1 in June 2012. A 2-2 draw against El Salvador was the only point Guyana managed to gain in the group, but the performances during the games against tough opposition suggested there was lots of potential for the future within the team. Recent lack of football. From November 2012 to October 2014, Guyana failed to play a competitive game of football due to off-field problems. Current squad: the following players featured in the World Cup qualifiers against St. Vincent and the Grenadines in June 2015, caps and goals as of June 14, 2015. Recent call-ups. Staff as of January 15, 2015. Guyana results and fixtures, matches in last 12 months, as well as any future scheduled matches. Coaches: Joseph Wilson, Nida dos Santos, Jamal Shabazz, Wayne Dover, Jamal Shabazz, Dainzeel Thompson, Jamal Shabazz. References